So what's good, YouTube? American RX at it again. Another uppercut. Shout out to the subscribers. Shout out to the viewers. And I'm saying, peace and love to you. I'm saying, wholesomeness to you. Pick up yourself. Shout out to Darkman XTV, the ICCC. This presentation that I'm about to make right now. Shout out to Alex from Yen Kun Kun for pointing this out to me. I was not really aware of this situation going on here, but I told you people a long time, man, like jurisdiction is everything. I'm saying, y'all gotta, we're bringing information. It's up to you if you want to take it or leave it, man. You spread your bed. You know what I'm saying? You spread your bed, but you know you're gonna have to lay in it, right? So, let's get it. Dire anti-lynching bill. All right. Y'all gonna learn today. The Dire anti-lynching bill was first introduced in 1918 by Representative Leonidas C. Dyer, a Republican from St. Louis, Missouri, in the United States House of Representatives as H.R. 11279. It was intended to establish lynching as a federal crime. The Dyer anti-lynching bill was reintroduced in subsequent sessions of Congress and passed by the U.S. House of Representatives on January 26, 1922. But its passage was halted in the Senate by filibuster by Southern Democrats who formed a powerful bloc. Okay, so the lesser evil is trying to not lynch you, but the higher evil is saying, no, fuck that, we're gonna lynch them. All right, Democrats are the more evil on the other higher side. The Republicans is the lesser evil, but they're not. The fact is that none of them is for you, really. But you gotta have balance, right? So you can't have too much going over on one side. You gotta have a balance, equilibrium, right? All right, let's get to it. Attempts to pass similar legislation took a halt until Costigan-Wagner Bill of 1934. Subsequent bills followed, but the United States Congress never outlawed lynching. They never outlawed lynching. Okay? So when you see the policy enforcers come in mobs, when one pulls you over, they call 10, 15 more policy enforcers. That's a mob. Right? So that's how they lynch in mobs, right? They have to form the mob, then they lynch you. And the new form of lynching is giving you gunshots. Okay? That's your new lynching. Or sitting on your neck. Okay? This is why these fuckers get away with what they get away with. But you people don't want to listen. You are like stuck in your emotions. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to listen. You don't want to properly identify yourself. You don't want to correct the record for your children. You don't want to do none of this. You don't want to do the research. What you're going to learn today. Subsequent bills followed, but the United States Congress never outlawed lynching due to powerful opposition from Southern senators. It was not until 2018 right, that they even look at it again, that the Senate passed the anti-lynching legislation, Justice of Victims of Lynching Act, on which the House Representatives took no action. Okay, on February 26, 2020, the House passed a revised version, the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act, by a vote of 410 to 4. Okay? You see what's going on, right? This is why these mobsters called policy enforcers. This is why you need to correct who you are, send notices out. It is very important because your life depends on it. If you didn't know, now you know. Background: lynching were predominantly committed by whites against African Americans. You see this word, African Americans? You all need to ditch that bullshit. You all need to ditch that black shit. It's all bullshit, okay? It's gonna get you killed, all right? In the southern and border states, according to statistics. In the southern and border states, according to statistics, compiled by Tuskegee Institute between the years 1882 and 1951. Some 4,730 people were lynched in the United States, of whom 3,437 were black. Whenever you are black, you will get lynched. I mean it, you will get lynched. No apologies. And 1,293 were white. When you're white, you will get lynched also. There's no such thing as white people. It doesn't exist. The first wave of lynching occurred in years immediately following the Civil War, but fell off sharply with the dissolution of the first Ku Klux Klan, right, about 1870. There was a revival in 1890s. The largest annual number of lynchings occurred in 1892. 230 persons were lynched that year. 161 African Americans and 69 whites. So when you're African American, you're 3/5 of a human, right? 3/5, okay? And continued for the next 2 decades at relatively high levels in what is often called the nadir of American race relations. A period marked the disenfranchisement of African Americans and the Jim Crow. I already tell you what the Jim Crow was about. It was used to enforce paper genocide, okay, in the South, and discrimination against African Americans across the country. Many lynchings were the result of Southern whites' extrajudicial efforts to maintain white supremacy. Okay? After gaining disenfranchisement of most blacks through discriminatory voter registrations and electoral rules, and imposing segregation and Jim Crow laws on the black population in the late 19th, early 20th century, maintaining white supremacy in economic affairs, played a part as well. So when I tell you that you should know who you are, it's your duty. It's not nobody else's duty. Do your research. It's your duty, right? When I say Indians not taxed, right? You was never meant to be a U.S. citizen. It's not for you. It's not you. It's not supposed to be. You're not supposed to be a U.S. citizen and nothing like that. You're supposed to find your people, align yourself with your bloodline, your tribe, your nation, and you deal with this corporation from a government to government relationship, right? The late 19 and social changes result from a rapid rise in immigration from Southern and Eastern Europe. Okay? Social changes rise from a rapid rise in immigration from Southern and Eastern Europe. Right? The rise of the second Ku Klux Klan and internal great migration of blacks from South to industrial cities in Northeast and Midwest contributed to violent confrontations. In 1917, white mobs had attacked blacks in East St. Louis, a city located directly across Mississippi River. St. Louis, over competition for work, punishment by strike breakers. Okay, so while they were migrating here in flocks, they ensured that you didn't get nowhere. Okay? They're ensuring that you didn't get nowhere, right? And these NAACP ain't gonna save your life either, because they are part of the problem. The shame of America. Do you know that the United States is only land on earth where human beings are burned at the stake? No, the Roman Catholic burn you at the stake. This was done to the nobles, the original European nobles. Okay? This was done to them. And a lot of them got exiled over here. Okay? So this is not the only place. It's done in Europe too. The Roman Catholic Church burn you at the stake. That's what the Romans do. Rome. That's what Rome does. Okay? So this is another article, New York Times, right? This is more recent, okay? Frustration and fury as Rand Paul holds up anti-lynching bill in Senate. A dispute over legislation to make lynching a federal crime has grown fierce as Congress turns its attention to issues of race and law enforcement amid protests across the country. So people, up until this time, lynching isn't outlawed, right? So you people like to call yourself blacks and African Americans and all this stuff. You're gonna get lynched, okay? As Congress prepares to wade into the contentious debate over legislation to address police brutality and systematic racial bias, a long simmering dispute in the Senate over a far less controversial bill that would, for the first time, explicitly make lynching a federal crime has burst into public view. For the first time, we're in year 2020. The bill called Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act after the 14-year-old black boy who was tortured and killed in 1955 in Mississippi predates the recent high-profile deaths of 3 black men, women, and at the hands of white police and civilians that have inspired protests across the country. Passed the House this year by a vote of 410 to 4. Okay? You all get it now? You think when we tell you don't know your genealogy, find your people, identify as a people, you think it was a joke? And has backing of 99 senators who have urged support for a belated federal recognition of a crime that once terrorized black Americans. Okay, there's no such thing as black Americans, okay? This is a grand slam right here, okay? They want to push your ass over in Ghana. This is why they provoke you and you fell for it. Ghana is marketing off this whole shit, okay? Come to Ghana if you're not wanted in USA. Tourism Minister to African Americans as they lay a wreath for George Floyd. They don't love you. They're all in on it, okay? Minister of Tourism, Art and Culture has invited. So if it's your home, how can you be a tourist if it's your home? Art and Culture has invited African Americans to resettle in Ghana if they feel unwanted in the USA. She said, at a collaboration with the Ghana Tourism Authority, Office of Diaspora Affairs, and the Diaspora African Forum, to organize a memorial and wreath-laying ceremony at the Web Du Bois Memorial Center for Pan-African Cultures. They're running a ritual on you. Web Du Bois, none of these people were for you, man. In honor of George Floyd. So George Floyd is the beacon to push you off your land, to have you to abandon your land. But you all won't listen. The late George Floyd was an African American who was gruesomely killed by a white American police officer in the USA about 25th of May 2020. Speaking at a ceremony on Friday in 5th June 2020, Minister of Tourism and Art and Culture Barbara Ontegi Gassi expressed the hope that the death of Mr. Floyd will put an end to racism not only in the US but across the globe. Racism in America continues to be a deadly pandemic for which far more than 400 years now, our brothers and sisters, okay, in the United States, they're not for you, okay? Know who you are and claim it.